To the brightest place on earth. Happy fucking whatever day today is. This album is so good. My God. Wait. Are we all ready to get our ass blasted by our phones? Oh, I forgot about that. That's in 20 minutes, isn't it? I completely forgot about the ass blasting of the phones. I landed at Tasha's Hideous Laughter on Raphael in the boss fight, and it was glorious. Tasha's Hideous Laughter? Oh, that's beautiful. Good fucking morning, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. Yeah, in I think 20 minutes, everyone's phones are gonna, or is it 11, what time zone at 11:20? I always assume East Coast, because everything's East Coast, but, it's in 2 hours? Okay. In about 2 hours-ish, 2 hours and 20 minutes-ish, we're all gonna get, isn't it, it's like they're testing the emergency response or something like that? Yeah. Yeah, if you have a second phone for your own personal safety, turn it off. Turn it off. Take out the fucking card. 2 hours Pacific. If it's Pacific, then it's in 3, right? Isn't Pacific an hour behind me? It's 9 for me now. So I think that'd be 3 hours then. Whatever. We'll all know because our phones are gonna fucking go off like crazy. We're all gonna share a very cute moment together. Yeah, it's in 3 hours. Yep. Yes. Okay. Cool. 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 Thank you, Mishy. Yeah. So crispy. It's they're testing the national emergency cell phone alert thingy thing. What is it? 2:20 EST. Okay. Cool. Yep. So that's in 3 hours. And remember the next time you turn on your extra phone, make sure you're alone because the alert will go off. Very, very true. We actually watched a few TikToks on this, and it's the saddest topic. I hate that it even has to be a conversation, but there are a lot of people in the world living in horrifically abusive relationships, and they have 2 phones because their partner stalks their phone and stalks where they are and tries to control every single bit of their life. And so some people literally have a second phone for their own safety, and it's so important to turn that fucking shit off. Turn it off, get the SIM card out of it, and when you turn it back on, make sure you're in a McDonald's drive-thru without your partner or something. Dapper motherfucking dame! Bitches. Thank you so much for the raid and motherfucking sales. Can we toot here? We can toot all day. Thank you so much for some of the class. Keeping the class alive and giving any swings.
For 40 fucking months. Jesus Christ. I've been around too long. I mean.
Not gonna throw age out there, but Dame gets it. What up, Dame? How are you? Good morning, love. Oh, yeah. It's just fair warning for those new coming into the channel or those who haven't been by since October started. But October is hell, and the alerts are terrifying. Oh, there's a nice one. Wildflower. I'll just cough on myself first. Thank you so much for following my channel today. Welcome to the class. Please take your pants off and get comfortable. I don't stream with pants on. Therefore, I invite you to do the same. Embrace your goddamn nudity, motherfucker. Thank you so much.
Your soul and shit.
Thank you so much for stepping to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving it an for so fucking long. That's a lot of months, dude. Thank you, LZT. How are you? Welcome, Raiders. We just started for the morning, but it's wonderful to see all of you. Happy season of the spooking. Happy toots. If you don't want to know a fun fact, I don't fart. I'm a freak of nature. I think I've farted 3 times in my whole life. It's crazy. I wish I could toot with you all.
Toot toot. I burp a lot. Nope, I don't have one on board. I was gonna try.
Dude, pants are penis prisons. I'm convinced. You know how there's a joke, I guess, a meme out in the world where people are like, if you go into someone's house and they don't have books, don't fuck them. If you hang out with someone and they choose to casually relax in denim, I have questions. Lots of them. We're taking some plants and soil and putting them in hydroponics with Lika. Oh, I'm excited for you. Dude, so get this. Dame, this was I love October. Thank you, Frank Freeman, for that fucking 100 biddies. Toot toot, burp burp, choo choo. Yeah, I could burp all day, but I just, the tootings don't even. Leggings. Seriously, how do people live without spandex? Like, how do you bend over? How do you squat down to pick something up in denim? I have so many questions for people that choose to relax in denim. Like, you have problems. That's just me though. I'm a comfort. I want to be able to move all the time, and most clothes just don't move. Hello, kills. Should hopefully see the death of legitimate embedding on Twitch. I don't know what that means. What? Embedding? Okay. Is that good? Is embedding bad? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? The likes of Fex. What does that mean though? I wish news like that made any sense to me. I really do. I just don't. I don't do anything unique on Twitch. Like, what's an embed? What's an embed? I used to be a jeans bitch, but then COVID happened and I switched entirely to leggings. I can't go back. That was me before when I worked at like the hospital. Actually, it kind of happened before that. When I was working at like part of like a huge reason I went into medicine is you don't have to think about what you wear every day. You just wear scrubs, and that's like the best thing ever because clothes don't fit my body. And when I started wearing scrubs all the time, and then on my days off, I would put on jeans, I was like, this is a hellscape. Why am I doing this? Like, there's a reason we don't wear denim at the hospital. You can't fucking move around in it. And I just stopped. I think I own one pair of jeans from Madewell that my sister gave me because they didn't fit her. And they're really stretchy. They're perfect. I hate to inform you that at least 50% of my wife's wardrobe is denim. She's low-key Canadian cowgirl. Dude, she must have a body that fits denim. I have yet to find a pair of denim jeans that both fits my ass and thighs without creating that massive gap at the back of my ass. They just don't exist. Like, I would have to be able to afford a tailor. By the way, thank you for the hype train, you fuckers. They would boost. Okay, so this is what an embed is. Embedding means you put your stream on a not Twitch site and farm viewers for ad money. They would boost their views by being embedded in a website. Oh. So it has nothing to do with something being on Twitch, it's being embedded somewhere else. Oh, so Factual Life have their wiki. When you're on their wiki, you're automatically classed as a viewer, even though they aren't on their Twitch channel. Interesting. I didn't know this. See, I'm such an old school streamer. Like, I just everything's set up. I don't change anything. I just kind of go with it every day. I don't like I don't look into the new. Also, I guess this is like there's a lot of people who don't view the views as human beings, I think, and I don't know how else to put that. I'm here to make connections with people, not just to have some impressive number. And viewers on some website counting as a viewer that are not actually here, like, I would think something was wrong because I'd be like, look how high my viewers are and my chat's dead. What the fuck is going on? Apple Bottom Jeans was great. This new album, dude. So, I was listening to it this morning. This is Kylie Minogue's new album. It's so fucking good. It's so like early 2000s pop that it's got that like sick, like guttural beat to it that's like a heartbeat, and you just want to be in a dark club and undulate. It's so good. They were actually designed with big butts in mind. They don't, I mean, nowadays they have, it's all spandex. I mean, I don't even think it's real denim anymore, but they have like jeggings and shit like that, right? Shorty got low, 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 low. Dude, that was my college era right there. The people are intentionally doing the embedding to inflate their own numbers. It's not like they're an innocent bystander. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of assumed that. I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. I guess I would never do that because those aren't actual real people coming to chat that I get to meet. I don't know. I don't see that. Like, I'd rather real human beings come to my channel by choice and want to hang out. Are those like 12 terrariums? Oh, there's like 48. They're behind the horse. It's a shit ton of spiders, and then up here I've got geckos and frogs. I like animals a lot. Yeah, they're all behind the horse. Tarantulas are nocturnal by nature, so I try to block out a little bit of all my studio lighting so they're not like, you know, fucking never getting nighttime. So because Factual Life had super inflated numbers when it comes to deals and sponsorships, oh, they get big pay, but say like an indie dev company, but then cause its inflated numbers to video game company, but could go bust because there's no traffic to the game. Okay, so it's fake. It's basically fucking people over. Yeah, that's fucked up. Speeders. Yeah, I got a lot of speeders. I love me some speeders. I got a lot of animals, but they're all like ridiculously low maintenance animals because I love to travel. And spiders like more attention, like less attention than a cactus. So they're perfect. Like the less I interact with them, the happier they are. Oh my god, you had a pink tone of Rosa. I want a Rosa so bad. That is, I haven't bought a spider in ages. Like, I'm not a hoarder. I don't just buy spiders. Like, I have very specific species that I collected and want to keep. I cannot find a fucking Rosa. They're impossible. My local exotic store has an adult, not for sale, but I want one so bad. It's definitely one of my, like, yeah, they're just nowhere. Every once in a while, I see one on the Tarantula Breeders website, but they're pretty expensive. And I think it's because they're one of those species that they have to be like 25 before they can breed. You know what I'm saying? Like the females do. I can't find one. I've tried. I love them so much. Oh god, what is the Grammostola rosea? Is that the Latin name? Oh, I have a Mexican, I have not red knees. You'll know what they are though. It's the fire leg. I have two Mexican fire legs. They're gorgeous. They look so similar. I mean, there's like the Mexican red knee, orange knee, yellow knee, fire leg, whatever. They all look really similar, but I love those. And then I have a oh god, what's the common name? Brachypelma amelia is the scientific name. Is that a fire? That's not a fire leg. That's not a man. I cannot remember the common name. Common names are hard for me because the common names change all the time. But that's the Latin name, and she's like black, and she has one big orange triangle on her carapace. She's really pretty. It's like bot viewers, yeah. Nocturnal unless they're migrating, and then they're everywhere, dude. Tell me about it. I hate this time of year because I feel so bad because everybody's out there trying to kill tarantulas because they're like, the tarantulas are out to get us. Oh my god. And it's like, no, they're just sex crazed. You look like a tree. Yep, they are, Viata. This is the time of year. So, this is the time of year where if you live in an area where there's tarantulas, you may very likely find a tarantula outside. 99.9% chance it's a boy that has starved itself to be sex crazed. And they're just looking for fucking. That's it. It sucks. And people are like, the tarantulas. There was nothing there. That link didn't lead me to anything. Oh, this is it. Okay, so if you look, if you look on the left, you'll see a Twitch stream. So anyone using the wiki counts as a viewer. Oh, that's fucked up. Okay, so that's fucked up. We did have a horse loose in the hospital, and they want to put him back in, but you know. Jesus Christ. Hello, Miss Margrins. Mrs. Other Margrins? Hello, wife. It's still classed as real viewers, but they're not. Right? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I personally don't want people just like I don't know, that's not a real viewer. Like I must lurk and clean up lots of dirt. Go clean lots of dirt. Go stand up, stretch your legs, get some fucking water. I love you. Thank you so much for the raid. For those of you that choose to stick around from the raid, thanks for hanging out. But also make sure to stand up and stretch your legs. The big Aussie spider? I do not have the big Aussie spider. You mean the huntsman? I have a Goliath bird eater who's a baby, and that's the biggest spider I'll ever have. Just simply because of the fucking enclosure they need is so big. I don't want to have a fucking 100-gallon tank for a spider. Dr. Groove and Jessica the Black, thank you so much for following my channel today. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the class. I appreciate you. Wife says hi. Hi. Imagine if spiders hump things like dogs. It'd be a different story. Oh my god, can you imagine? I don't want anything to do with that. That's too much. I have snakes. I like snakes. Yeah, I get it though. I get it. I get the fear of all the creepies, to be honest. Like there is Even me with all of my animals, I have a sense of dread. Like, don't fuck with that, you know? But I have them. Yep, I have a bird eater, but she's a baby. She's like this big. Boobs. She's like this big ish. I'd say she's probably about 4 inches across and she's only 6 months old. She's the fastest growing spider I've ever had in my entire life. Like she just grows and grows and grows and keeps growing and it's crazy. But basically the enclosure for a spider, the general rule is you want it 3 times the length of your spider and 3 times the height of your spider, depending on the species if it digs or whatever. And so if you have a huntsman, you got to have a tank that's 3 times like Jesus Christ. No. She's going to get pretty big. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, spider fans. I'm pretty positive the largest tarantula on record was about 11 inches across. And the way we measure a tarantula is the diagonal from the front right to the back left or the front left to the back right. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the body, that's the leg span, essentially. So the largest tarantula was almost a foot leg span, and it was a bird eater. So she could get that big. They don't eat birds, by the way. I feel like I have to say this every time. It's a total misnomer. They look like a bird because they're so big and they live in trees. They don't eat birds, though. Literally excessive dildo size. Yep. But she's beautiful. She's so pretty. Yep, that's like the general rule for a spider, but obviously if you have a tarantula that has a unique living requirement, you'll have a bigger enclosure for them. So like if your tarantula in nature digs a 7-meter hole, you should probably have more than 3 times the length of the spider for them to dig their 7-meter hole. You know what I'm saying? You don't need 7 meters, but like accommodating. Oh, I have 2 dogs, but I don't wanna call them over right now because 'cause they're super annoying. Yeah, it literally kills. That's exactly what I do. I open my spiders, I take a peek, and I'm like, "You look really cool. Please stay inside." Like, do not come out. Same with my snakes. Dude, Zach loves to feed my snakes, and he starts laughing hysterically because some of my snakes actually come out of their enclosure to get their food. Like, they are so ready. So he'll be sitting there holding the rat with the tweezers things. Dead. I do not live feed. It's disgusting and it's not necessary. But the snakes, they come striking, and all of my snakes are at least 5 foot at this point. So they come striking out of the cages, and he sits there like picking them up and shoving them back in the cage. And I'm sitting there like, but what if it thinks you're the rat? But he didn't give a shit. He's just like, whatever. But me, I'm like, I've never been bit by any of my animals. I was bit by my bearded dragon way back in the day, and that was it. And so I just have this effervescent like acknowledgement, like they could bite. I'm just not gonna fuck with them. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, I love rats. Rat snakes, excuse me, rats too, but rat snakes are really cool. Rat snakes are really, really cool. I mean, honestly, I love all animals. There's very few animals in this world. Centipedes. Centipedes can go fuck themselves. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. I do name them. Yeah, I tend to wait until I know they're a female. And if you don't know anything about spiders, that's not because I'm sexist. Tarantulas that are males tend to only live like 2 to 5 years ish because they starve themselves and get sex crazed. Whereas females can live upwards of 35 years. So when I get a baby spider, I tend to wait I name them weed strains. I'm not kidding you until I know they're a female, and then I name them after someone I love because I don't like. I've made the mistake of naming one of my spiders after one of my mods, and then it turns out a male and dies in a year, and I'm like, no. So I wait, but yeah, they're all named. They've all got like their stickers on them and shit. Yeah. And I like as I accumulated them, I would open their packages on stream and we named them together and stuff. Rats are really cool. Honestly, rats, in my opinion, are one of the most perfect pets if they didn't die so fast. 3 years? That's nothing. 3 years is such a short amount of time to actually have with an animal. Like, it's just so heartbreaking. I had rats all through college, and it was like yes, rats are so they're like a dog. You can train a rat almost better than a fucking dog because they have thumbs. It's crazy, but then they die. Like 3 years in, you're like, but We just met. I hate it. That is my biggest. I love them so much, but they just die. It's so sad. I fell asleep at my desk yesterday from 5 to 8 p.m. and then in bed from 11 to 6 a.m. I think I'm broken. Oh my God, I hope you're not getting sick. That would suck a bunch of dicks. Yep, centipedes and mosquitoes. Thank you. Centipedes, mosquitoes, and I think it's not, we don't need to say like bed bugs, ticks, anything that wants to suck my blood, leeches, a lamprey eel. A lamprey eel can absolutely eat ass. I don't give a fuck. That thing can fuck off. There are a few creatures in this world where I'm just like, you know what? I'll hang out with my spiders. I'm good. I'm good. Those can just suck it. I only got bit once by a ball python, but it was my fault for reaching around in mealtime. Had to get a tetanus shot just to be safe, but the nurses were super interested in seeing the bite. They're really interesting because, like, pythons and constrictors, they don't have teeth. They have, like, sandpaper in their mouth. They basically have teeth like a fish. And so, because they don't envenomate, envenomate? That's not a word. You know what I mean? They don't inject venom. They squeeze and suffocate. So their teeth, like, they tend to leave, like, a weird, like, sandpaper bite. It's very bizarre. I've never been bit, though. No shit. Only one of my snakes has ever bit someone, and it was my fucking ball python. The pet rock of the snake world, and it bit my sister because she was holding it in the dark with a flashlight and flashlighted on her fingers, and they looked like mices, and it went for her. It was a tiny little bite. Literally, the snake knew immediately what happened and let go, but, like, my ball python. I have 2 red-tailed boas and a woma python, and my ball python bites somebody. Why? I know, but this is the thing. For those of you going to TwitchCon, you'll get to see my sister because she's meeting us there and she's going to hang out for the whole con, which is really exciting. But my sister and I are almost identical in personality. We have no reaction to shit like that. Like, panic reaction. I don't know why, but we just don't have it. So when something happens like that, she didn't do anything. She just sat there and looked at it and then started laughing. In the dark of my basement, with the snake still on her hand. Manic. Fucking crazy. I love her so much, but damn. Like, I'm freaking out like, oh God, my sister's never gonna want to touch one of my snakes again. Every time she comes over, wants to pet a snake. Every single time. She's like, I want to hold a snake. She has no fear. It's great. Talking about eating ass, I meant, like, actually sucking the poop out, though. Have you ever seen a lamprey eel? They look like they would suck the poop out. If someone wants to be a spooky vampire and suck my blood, I'm down. What about a lamprey eel? France right now, oh my God. I read about that yesterday. What the fuck, though? France, the country, has an outbreak of bed bugs? Like, people get attacked by them sitting on the train? Disgusting. Fucking gross. I don't know. I mean, it can't just be Paris. Like, bed bugs are prolific. If someone goes to Paris and travels out of Paris, they're spreading. Like, there's no way it isolates unless you had a quarantine wall around the city. Like, bed bugs, they get in your clothes, the microscopic little eggs, you take them home. Like, they're gonna be everywhere. If it's the entire city of Paris, they're going to be everywhere. You cannot isolate that. Gross. I Googled it, Groove, right? That's what I'm saying. Lamprey eels. Like, just no. Satan lives in the ocean. I'm convinced of it. Like, if I had to choose a group of animals to quite literally never interact with until, I mean, literally just never, not even an until, let's just get rid of that word, it'd be anything in the ocean. I love it. I love the ocean. It's beautiful. I love snorkeling. The orcas can keep it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the devil's down there. I got nothing to do with it. I have panic reactions over trivial things, but in stressy situations, I don't panic at all. Same. The aliens in Dreamcatcher 100% are lamprey eels. The things that they, like, shit out in the toilet. It could be a global issue as well. It was during Paris Fashion Week. Shut the fuck up. Wait, did they already know there was a breakout and people still went there? Oh yeah, the bed bugs are so bad. You can see them with the naked eye crawling on train seats. Like, it's not like a few people have some microscopic bugs in their bed. The whole dude, neuro, the bed bug shit though. Have you ever vomited more in your mouth? I just don't even know what I would do. I would burn the city. Burn the city. Fuck that. That is, and correct me if I'm wrong, they come from filth, right? Bunch of dummies online trying to say some dumb shit like bed bugs aren't harmful, just annoying. I'm sorry, what? Wait, I'm sorry. People just want to live with the bed bugs! Neuro, I need a hug. Wait, people think COVID can be spread by bed bugs. Go fuck yourself. There's no. Stop it. No.
I gave it a wash, turned it on, and slipped it in.
No. How come people have to bring everything back to COVID? How come they can't just get a booster and leave it the fuck alone? Dude, right? See, France in your pants is one thing, but you can't make a pun about France in bed bugs. Well, neuro. Dude, David was just telling me, David Cable was just saying, literally, like this outbreak was happening during Paris Fashion Week. It's so, I mean, neuro, I'm sure you've seen the videos. I'm not fucking kidding you. I saw a video of a visual bed bug crawling across a train seat. Like you could see it with your naked eye. It was so big. And I'm not surprised. I mean, my brain, I guess my brain isn't wired to be that dumb. I don't know. It's like everything that happens, people are like, oh my God, how can we connect that to COVID? Like, no shit, today is the anniversary of people starting the 5G tower rumor. I'm not kidding you. I saw that tweet this morning. Today is the anniversary of people spreading the shit that 5G spreads COVID. It's just, yes, please get your flu shot. And if you schedule a flu shot, ask them if you can get your boosters at the same time. If you're not sick, you can get it all in one go. It's the best. As a doctor, bed bugs are fucking disgusting. Dude Groove, welcome to the channel. Dr. Neuro, another doctor, myself, respiratory therapist. There's a lot of people here who worked at Hopkins with me. What's up? Welcome to all of us just bitching about the stupidity of the world. We're all dying. Emotionally and psychologically. Seriously, there's a lot of fucking big brains in our community. It's pretty flattering. They don't think bedbugs spread COVID. Hold on. I made a joke that Neuro wasn't a fan of my negative energy. I might manifest into COVID carrying bedbugs. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if people thought that though, because bedbugs drink blood and people are idiots. I mean, Neuro, dude, we watched a TikTok. Oh my God, what was it? Was it yesterday? You remind me, guys. We watched one recently. And it was, oh God, people think, it was, a lady was in like a hospital and she needed blood. And she was like, well, can I get how do I know if the blood you're giving me is unvaccinated or vaccinated? Because I want the unvaccinated. And then because we don't mark blood unvaccinated because what the fuck? She then asked for pig blood. It was like a nurse retelling this story. Like she wanted blood replacements and she asked about bovine and swine blood. Education is failing us. Like our children are coming out kind of it's just what the fuck? I've had several patients refuse platelet transfusion from vaccinated donors. I'm sorry, please excuse me for one moment. We're doomed. Darwinism, right, Damon? That's what I'm saying. Like, we didn't even need to remove warning labels for people to try to kill themselves. We didn't. We didn't have to remove anything. Insert. Yeah, it's just. What? What do you think? I don't know. What happened to trusting the people who pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the education to learn about human bodies so that we can help you? Like, what happened to trusting those people? Welcome to my life. I can't. I cannot with that. I mean, I remember the worst. So fucking thank God I pulled out of Hopkins literally right as COVID hit. Like, it was an incredible miracle of science. But the people that we would get in who were Jehovah Witnesses, no shame on Jehovah's. Like, if you're here in Jehovah, like, I'm so sorry. But they would not let us take blood or give blood, and then they just watch their child die, and then they'd look at you like you're the bad guy, and I'm like, what did you want me to do? Guess? Like, do we have to teach people what blood is? We shouldn't. Warning labels are an implicit admission if someone tried this once. Amen. I'll never forget when I was like in middle school, I got a Dr. Pepper, a bottle of Dr. Pepper, and on the bottle it said, may cause blindness. Because quite recently, someone had shaken up a bottle, taken the cap off, and the cap popped them in the eye and killed their eye. Like, you just gotta wonder. When some folks demonstrated that they'd rather die en masse instead of wearing a paper-thin mask, we knew we weren't dealing with the intelligent. Dude, you're right. I mean, the fact that the vast majority of human beings still can't manage to wash their hands after they piss in a public bathroom is wild. That I don't trust human beings anymore to just wash your hands. Just fucking wash your hands. No shit, I prosecuted a family who failed to get medical care for their child because it would be done through Christ. They should go to jail. Did they go to jail? Yeah, the child died. I've seen that before. I've seen it at my hospital as well. They should go to jail. That's jail. That's murder. What I hate, CK, is when the patient pulls through and it's, oh God, yeah. Thank God. And all the doctors are standing in the doorway covered in blood and guts. One of them has a broken arm. The other one's glasses, maybe inside the patient. We don't know. And the whole family is thanking God. Like, we don't do what we do for thanks, but man, does that one sting sometimes. Because you're just like, God didn't teach me shit. They went to prison 50 years each?
Halla fucking Lula, what? Hallelujah, good.
People still think I get kickbacks from Pfizer for pushing the vaccine. I'm sorry, what? People think Pfizer's gonna shell out money to medical professionals? That's a good one. I like that one. Good morning, boy. Will. That's good. I like that. Keep going. I like your jokes. These are great. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with people, man. God. Not the same severity, well, perhaps, but like my house rules when living in student dorm, having only 3 entries. Don't store excess flammable material in your room. Don't throw things out of your window. Don't run a coal barbecue inside your room. Wait. I have to pause. Don't run in your dorm. Someone ran a coal stove? Like a barbecue? Sorry, that. Oh, yes, you see my haunted Victorian child? Ma'am. These are my poods. I have 2. These are the ones I was saying earlier when you said you like dogs. I was like, I have 2, but I don't want to call them over because they're so annoying. This is my baby girl, Lilith. And then the little void over here that you can barely see is my trickster boy. Hi, Bill. Yes, I see you. Yes. Miss Havisham poisoned me in the parlor. She likes to wake me up in the middle of the night and whisper about her tuberculosis struggles. Yeah, these are my big dumb poodles. They're pretty cute though. Dude, Neuro, happy 5G anniversary. Good luck. It just feels weird and wrong to say that. The only kickbox docs get was shelling out opioids. Yes. That was a big I mean, they do some doctors do get kickbacks. Like don't get me wrong. I mean, you guys know my girl Eliza, she was on what was it? Oh god. Prozac, I think. She was put on Prozac for years and she kept telling her doctor like I don't feel good. This makes me feel sick. None of this is working for me. And it took like 3 years for her to find out that her doctor was sponsored by Prozac. And she had to go find another doctor, get off Prozac. Like there are docs out there, but none of us are getting for a vaccination. What the fuck? It is this is where is he? He's right here. Vissy's boy. Vissy and Trick have a very special relationship. Dogs are everything. Dr. Groove, 100% agree. Like the amount of times I have cried on stream just watching a cute dog do something cute, I couldn't even tell you. Dogs are the best thing in the whole world, even though they're so annoying. I love them though. Like I talk mad shit on my dogs, but I fucking love them. So today, when they do the emergency testing on our phones, it's supposed to turn us vaccinated folks into zombies. Oh, is it? Is it because of the anniversary? Oh, I'm excited. Should I take my phone to my head and get ready? I'm ready. Let's wait. It's in a couple hours though, isn't it? We have time. We have time. Yeah, we have time. We've got like 2 hours before we all turn into zombies or whatever. I love Goldens. You have a golden retriever. I had a golden retriever boy who sadly passed away from tummy cancer a few years ago, but literally the most perfect dog in the whole world. Yeah, I was given tramadol 10 years ago. My doctor believed it was completely non-addicted. Hardest thing I ever had to come off of. Dude, I dated a guy whose mom, she had to get a vertebrae, like a disc replaced in her neck. It was wild. They sliced her neck open and went through the front. Amazing. But they put her on Percocets and she got addicted. They put her on like some massive dose of Percocets. I can't even remember what it was. And then just cold clocked her off of them. And she went into such bad withdrawals that she almost re-broke the disc in her neck. It was so bad. Watching that, like, doctors have to know, like, there are doctors that know better, but some doctors are just like, what the fuck? Like, I've never met these doctors that do this, but like, what the fuck? Yeah, she literally had her neck sliced open. They went in and replaced a disc with a cadaver disc and cold cut her off of pain meds. Good morning, David. How are you? It's fucked up. It was so fucked up to watch. She was like, like the DTs, like the shaking and the puking and stuff. And they were like, she had to call them and be like, I can't stop vomiting and I think I'm going to break my neck again. So they would do like because they're supposed to put you on like, pain meds and then wean you off of them. My old man my internet provider keeps emailing me that they have fiber in my area and it still has a 1 terabyte monthly data cap. How can they do that with fiber? What? Yep, Jade, these guys have been screaming and crying all morning because there's a squirrel in the yard. So they're just like, their anxiety all morning has just been like, like they're just like at my feet. And every time I get up to move, they both get up like, oh my God, where are we going? And I'm like, oh, stop. Good morning, Tara, my love. How are you? They're just trying to trick you. The alarm actually activates your latent super abilities. Give me my super abilities. Do it. Good morning, Safi, my love. How are you? I do a TB in a week on a slow day, but I run servers in the rack. Oh, no shit. Okay. The old site cold turkey turkeyed me off 5 milligrams days Xanax. That's fucked up. Did you get sick? If I forget my meds for some reason, by the way, take your fucking joy, I feel like I'm getting the flu. It's so weird, but if I forget one day of my antipsychotics or whatever the fuck you want to call them, I get flu symptoms. It's so weird. I start getting like cold sweats and I start getting really nauseous and stuff. That's how I know. And I'm like, oh, I missed my meds. Data caps are bullshit. They are, 100%. The data caps they're doing on like fiber and shit remind me of back in the day with cell phones when they were like, oh yeah, if you cross state lines, we're going to charge you $50 a minute. We all knew that that wasn't a thing that they should be doing and that that's not real and that what? But they did it. It kind of reminds me of that. Like, it's just going to take a while for us to be like, that's not real. You have to stop now. It's time to go do firearms qualifications for freedom, Texas, etc. I love that. For freedom, Texas, etc. Whatever. Have a beautiful day and be safe, honey bean. Maybe the emergency alert later is just heralding the global release of the COVID bed bugs. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna start itching if I think about it. I vomited so bad I soiled my pants. Yep. I get I mean, I've never shit my pants from it, but I totally get that, yeah. Wait, I don't need my autism or ADHD activated even more? I know, right? You can have 1 gigabyte speeds and use it up to 17 minutes. Neat! Imagine if that was a real commercial, though. I'm like, what's going on? Shit, my meds. Most of the time, I just feel on edge, my anxiety spiking. I think that's what's happening and what makes me feel sick. Like, I'm just so accustomed to not feeling that 24/7 anxiety now that when it starts to come up again, my body goes, what's this? It's weird. It's very bizarre. Neurospices in chat, we're all about to get our upgrades. Dude, Neurospices in about 2 hours. Make sure your phone is as close to your brain as possible because we're all becoming superheroes. Now he's cuddling me and I'm sucked back into his abuse. Dude, the abusive relationship is so real. Like, he didn't wake up by laying on my head. Lilith woke me up by smacking me in the eyeball with her paw. I totally get it. They're such assholes and I love them so much. I'm so glad that at least in Europe, the consumers were clever enough to, for once to go data cap for DSL. Yeah, fuck that. No, I wish. Sometimes I wonder, like, you know how in Europe, like, your countries are the size of states? Sometimes I wonder if because America is such a big country, like, it's impossible to do anything quickly or to do anything because there's just too many people and too many opinions. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Like, I know it's not possible for us to break up into countries, but I've thought about that because it just seems to work a lot better when you have a smaller portion of people who are voting on shit. Bex just sat on my pillow going, me this morning, and I wanted to drop kick him in the sun. Lilith does the same
Satan
almost
has
every
a
day, and it
very
drives me
special
fucking
pineapple for your
crazy.
asshole.
Bitch. Thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving it names 42 fucking months, Hammy. I appreciate you. That's a long time. Thank you, love. Let me sleep, you tiny poltergeist! You know, Genova, we used to say shit like that back in the day. Bacon, you generous fuck. Thank you so much for gifting a sub to Can Uppercut. Can Uppercut, use the belt which is the highest order, go forth and be consensual in all the ways because nothing in this world is sexier than pure sober consent, and I fucking appreciate you. I remember in high school, like senior year, when all the rich kids started actually having cell phones, and we would talk about that, like, you know how like our parent or our grandparents probably, our grandparents like smoked cigarettes, didn't know it caused cancer, and then suddenly they were like, by the way, those things your doctor were prescribing while you were pregnant are killing you. We were like, I wonder if when we're like 35, we're just gonna have these fucking like tumors growing off our head or whatever. We'll see. I don't know. I want to scoot over so bad, but Lilith's laying right there, little bastard. I got up this morning to use the bathroom, went back to bed, and my cat was laying on my pillow. That's what Lilith and Trick do. Yep. The reason we have data caps is less so about limiting how much data you can have, but to restrict people from running bot networks. Oh, bot networks out of their homes, David? See, I would never even think of that. What the fuck? Wow. I mean, I kind of get it, but like, damn. Oh, David, yes, I retweeted it. They didn't fire, they voted him out, and the Speaker of the House seat is vacant for the first time in the history of our country. Pretty fucking wild. Tare has a naked cat. Tare has a cat that looks like a piece of raw chicken. Bex is perfect. Facts. I don't want to run a bot network. I want to be able to watch Twitch in more than 4080p without paying $50 in overages a month. I agree. I just want to be able to do more than one thing on my computer without it crashing. I heard Trump is being nominated for speaker. Oh, man. I mean, if we're going to keep going down the hole of the shit that is America, like, that would kind of be the cherry, right? Raw chicken cat. Do they have cute clothes? Yes, she does have cute clothes for them. I'm not kidding you. Like, literally, Beck's... yes. I fart before I get up, so no cats be on my seat. Dude, my dogs love Zach's farts. You should become the next speaker. Can you imagine? You're all fired. Be safe, Vissy. Cheers, love. The GOP have an amazing knack for making history for the dumbest reasons. You know, Migrants, I literally went to sleep thinking about that the other day. I don't know why. I was just thinking, like, it was because of that old crazy bitch who voted and died immediately afterwards. Who voted and immediately died right afterwards? I was thinking about that. Like, a lot of these old, let's just say it as it is, fucking old white politicians, they talk about, like, legacy a lot and their family name and all this shit. And I'm like, I just wonder if any of them have had a moment of reflection where they're like, wow, being part of the government in this day and age means my legacy is fucked. Like a poopy fuck. Like, they've got nothing. They're dying, and they're going to go in the history books as pieces of shit. Was Dianne Feinstein the one that voted and died? I didn't mean to trash talk her. I'm just really bad with names. No, but I was thinking about it because people were going after her about it. Like, going after her. And, like, they have no self-reflection, I guess. Like, they go after a dead person instead of maybe having a moment of, like, maybe I could do some good while I'm alive. But I don't know if they have a scope on good, so maybe that's not a thing. I don't know. You know what I mean, though? Like, the mentality, you said it, maligned. The mentality of maligning a dead woman instead of just doing your fucking job and taking care of the country is kind of crazy to me. That's what my brother tells me. He worked for one of the major ISPs for decades now, but again, remember, anything I say is a matter of secondhand knowledge. I mean, all of us are just touting secondhand knowledge, right? We don't know either. My dogs are right in my fucking way. Oh, bandwidth caps are all about profit for fiber. For cell stuff, they make a bit of sense due to the limited bandwidth you have to share with others. I don't understand bandwidth, man. I don't know. She was on the Judiciary Committee, and the only reason Prez has been able to confirm so many Lib Dem judges is because she was there to vote. And I think that's why they're going after her, though, right? Well, you know, like, going after her. People are, like, slandering her and shit. And just being assholes, and I think that's why. They're probably doing the nationwide alert to send a patch to McConnell. He's buggy. Jesus Christ, I wish. She did amazing work for the gay community, carried the torch after Harvey Milk, but she also had severe cognitive issues near the end, and she shouldn't have still been in office. I agree. Like, age doesn't mean everything, but man, at a certain point, it's time to just back out. Oliver Anthony, that sounds really familiar, but I don't know. Cheers, Vissy. Viata, what the fuck? Seriously? She should have. Oh, wait, no. Ours flat out said they would block any replacement for her on that committee, so she felt she could not retire. That's so fucked up. You almost bought a dick bong? Imagine the smoke oozing out the head, though. How great that would have been. Our system's really fucked. It is. I try not to be too negative on it because, you know, being in America and experiencing it firsthand, like, you can kind of get into that neurosis of, like, oh my God, we're suffering so much. Like, it's terrible, and the world is pretty broken right now, but my day-to-day hasn't really changed too much other than that I am poor. Like, I just, you know, and I think that's the way it is in the vast majority of countries with political issues. The vast majority. Obviously, we're not talking about, like, Ukraine and etc., where horrific things are happening. But, like, you got to step out of your head and be like, the world is kind of fucked up, man. Like, as a whole, but the day to day, you know, like, it was only $40, dude. That's not bad. That's not a bad price for a good bong. AOC is incredible. I think she's too young. She's too young. You can't be president until you're 35 and she's 34. I'm not kidding you. She's a year younger than me. Gross. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Amen. Yeah. She turns 35 in a month. I thought she turned 34 in a month. My bad. So she can be president in a month. Dude, I would kill for some fistfights. Honestly, if they just let everyone in politics just like lube fight for a day, because they all just talk bullshit. They're all just spitting nonsensical nonsense most of the time. Most of them. I know, LZT. AOC is your age. Isn't that weird? I didn't know. She's my age. Like, I had no idea. I thought she was older than me. But I guess at a certain point, you just assume everyone's older than you because they're better than you. She can run for presidency if you're 35 by the time you swear and it's loud. Yep. You know the kind of politicians I love the most? The kind that talk and make you go, oh shit, this dude has no clue what he's talking about. I just love that so much. We should have more of that.
Wait, have you seen something other than that? Because I want to see it. Where? Where did you see this miracle?
Ham-fisted. I'm saying it would be amazing if you could just let everyone. I mean, can you imagine? Like, I don't wish harm or death on anybody, but Marjorie Taylor Greene would die. If people were allowed to just hit each other in the government, they would beat the living fuck out of her. I think we should vote VTubers for president. Not a specific one, but just a committee, VTubers and e-girls. Honestly, why don't we just design a VTuber model and then just cycle it out, kind of like the Ghost Band? Like, we'll just never know who's president at the time. It's just always a teddy bear or something. Peeps shit on her for bartending and calling her a dumb barmaid. What? Shitting on a human being who worked a real job? Tell me you are an entitled cunt without telling me you are an entitled cunt. These people in government claiming they care about the common man who's working these jobs, going after a politician for working a common job is what? It's almost as ridiculous as the fact that the people who decide what affordable housing is in America own multiple mansions. Like, what? First off, you don't fuck with a bartender. Yeah, like, especially, I mean, I hate to say it, especially a female bartender in New York City. A beautiful woman bartender in New York City will slit your throat without blinking. Like, and I'm saying she won't have to move. Like, your throat will just be slit and you will lose. You don't. Yeah, crispy, hard agree. Yes, especially a bartender that worked in fucking New York City. She's been in it all. It's right. You can't bullshit her. You literally cannot bullshit her. Exactly. They represent the blue collar Americans, unless you are one, and then you're just a shitty barmaid. That is fucked up. That is so fucked up. The last person I really wanted as president was Andrew Yang. Still not the best option, but I love that I would have gotten $1,000 a month. I don't remember who that is, but I don't. Is that bad? Probably. Just wait, America will be the first country to have an AI world leader. I wouldn't be shocked. Reminder, FEMA's testing the phone emergency alert system in 20 minutes. Wait, is it 20 minutes or 2 hours and 20 minutes? Because we were set that it was West Coast time, but now I don't know. Whose time is it? I guess we're all just going to experience it together. I have my phone here, so we're all going to have alerts together. Just to reiterate, though, we said this morning, and this is a really sad topic, but if you are one of the few unfortunates who have a secret phone because you're in a horrific, abusive relationship, my first piece of advice, turn that phone off and get the SIM card out of it. Second piece of advice, get away from that human. But make sure to turn your phone off. It's 2:20 EST, 11:20 PT, which is 12:20 for me, right? So that's in 2 hours. Time zones suck. I am so bad at them. Do you think so, Viata, I actually read a really interesting article about this on Reddit the other day about like what the next president will be like generation wise. And a lot of people, a lot of really smart, like intelligent diatribes, people were going off about how they don't think there will be Gen X president simply because they're smart enough not to run. Like their intelligence is cloaked. What was it? Their intelligence is cloaked in a gossamer of cynicism because they have lived the ringer and they know there's no fixing it and they'd rather just have a good time and live their own life. It was very hilarious. I mean, it was like a Reddit article, so a bunch of people were commenting. It was fucking hilarious as shit to read, all these different people from different generations. But I could kind of see that. Like, you don't like, there's I don't believe 100% in all the generational bullshit, but there is something to be said about there were certain generations that kind of held this hopeful fantasy in their head and they worked until they died because they really thought that that fantasy would occur. And then there's like we may be negative and cynical the further it goes down, but like none like I think starting with Gen X, correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't been proven wrong. Like no one's shown us that you can do a good job in politics yet. Like Obama showed us you can be a nice guy. Everyone wants to save the world, but no one wants to help mom do the dishes. The world is at your fingertips. The ocean's at your door. It's all over the place. Time zones are okay, but the daylight savings is bullshit. Daylight savings needs to die. I don't understand why that's even still a thing anymore. Gen X is the last generation to have not grown up entirely online and recorded. They don't want someone digging into their undocumented past. Oh my God, that's though my generation. I don't think people say that, but I don't. There were no phones until I was like a senior in high school, and I'm a millennial. I don't think like I don't know. Maybe that's just because I grew up in a poorer area or whatever. But cell phones weren't a thing until I was in college, like a constant thing. DVD players weren't even a thing. Those were really expensive. Most people didn't have a Blu-ray didn't even exist, but a DVD player or anything like that. And I'm just a millennial. But I did not grow up with technology. I didn't have a TV. I didn't have cable TV till I was in middle school. Like I didn't grow up with that shit. And I know a lot of millennials who also didn't grow up with that shit. I don't know. Okay, Robo, is it weird that I do know a little bit of the banjo because my dad made one? My real dad made one from scratch. My friend had the first iPhone when we were seniors. Wow. Drummer from Dust Honey, Denver band, just dropped a solo project under the name Father Disco. Ooh, Father Disco. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Hold on. Boop. We got a VHS top loader at launch. We never got anything at launch. My parents still to this day are very anti-technology. Like, not anti on purpose, but they just see it as, I don't need it. They've never been into that. We never had anything when it newly released. I remember I had friends who had car phones and shit, though, and I was real impressed. Thank you, Sini Moise. I appreciate you. You one of those! No shit, Robo. I am hard redneck. I could spit farther than any of you. I'd put money on it. I grew up a certain kind of way. I saw my first car phone when I was 14. How old was I when I saw my first? I think I was around the same age, 14 or 15. I remember it was my friend Kim's mom's car, and their dad was a dermatologist. They were fucking loaded, and they had a car phone. And I was like, how does a phone work in your car? None of this makes sense. And I never saw that woman use it, not once. Apparently, the golf course lobby is against getting rid of daylight savings. About the only ones. Golf courses. Good morning, Kinger. You didn't do any politically embarrassing shit before high school either. I mean, what's considered politically embarrassing? I was expelled in 8th grade. I'm sure some right-wingers would come after that. I did all the bad shit before I turned 18. Like, which is great because then it's not on your record. But I was like the second youngest of 8 kids. So I had a whole lot of generations of bad examples to follow. In 7th, no shit. Dude, as someone who lives in Florida, fuck golf courses and the people who own them. I agree. Like, nothing should be decided based on a golf course, and I love golfing. I'm so boring. I got a speeding ticket once. Please tell us how. It's not super interesting, but I went to school plastered, essentially. I kind of remember it, which is really weird, but I was getting ready in the morning, and I don't know why I decided to do this, but I decided to go into our pantry, which was enormous, and close the door, and I was like, "Oh, I'm changing my shirt real quick," and I filled up a bottle of Diet Coke with, like, this much Seagram's Canadian whiskey and then water, and just, like, carried it out into the kitchen in front of my whole family like, "Yeah, this is just Diet Coke," and drank the entire thing on the bus to school, and then my first class was PE, so I was just like, whiskey all over the place, and, I may or may not have had some drugs in my locker, so but like I said, lot of bad examples to look up to. What are you gonna do? At least I cleaned up early. It got me on a straight path real early, which I'm honestly kinda grateful for. I don't know where I would have gone had I not been scared out of my pants shitless at the ripe age of, what is it, 13, 14? Yeah, I was a little shit stick. What? Assaulted a teacher? Oh my god, that's terrifying. Dude, Genova, they do the same here. They do the same here, and we don't get rain. Why are there golf? Like, that's where all the fucking water's going. Genova said, as someone who lives in Arizona, also fuck golf courses. We're in a fucking desert. Why do we have you have over 370 golf courses? Holy shit. Damn. That's a lot. I was. You know how, like, your parents are like, you know those kids that walk around in the middle of the night in town with the baggy jeans and shit? Like, don't fuck with that was me. But I wasn't a bad kid, I was just bored. I wasn't out there like, this'll piss off mom and dad. I was just like, wow, there's nothing to do. Oh, look, drugs. It was my town, seriously, like, the population to this day is only 1,500 people, and you either get pregnant or you do drugs. And I just was not about the pregnancy. Still am not, but, short story, this is City Girl. I'm from the middle of nowhere. This is why we get along. We went snowmobiling once early in our dating to one of our party spots along the Osable River. She was very confused about it until I described it like a country song full of pickup trucks, a bonfire, and skinny dipping in the fire blew her mind. She'd never been to a bonfire party that you can't get to with a car? Dude. Moist, I do not say this facetiously. One of the best, maybe the best New Year's Eve celebration of my life was when I think I was like 9th grade, maybe 7th, like 8th or 9th grade. And I went up into Laurel, Washington, which is right on the border of Canada. It is fuck nowhere, like population 2 people. And my friend's cousins had a shit ton of snowmobiles. And it had snowed a fuck ton. Like there was foot of pure powder. And in the middle of the night, we all went snowmobiling up into the mountains and had a bonfire party that you could not get to with a car. But it felt like you were flying. Like, the powder, it was, like, feet of just pure powder, and we were just blasting through, like, they had, like, cattle ranching land, so it was just, like, flat land everywhere in between these mountains. It was so magical, and I don't think I'd ever really thought to myself I'd love snowmobiling that much. Like, I grew up on dirt bikes and stuff like that. Grew up riding horses, and snowmobiles, I was just kinda like, "Oh, it's just another method of transportation." I think that was my first time ever being on a snowmobile, but it was you kind of feel like you're not on anything. It's almost like, jet skiing, but way smoother. It was really magical, and we just went up into the mountains middle of the night, celebrated New Year's around a bonfire on a mountain, and then had to snowmobile back down at, like, 4 in the morning or whatever. But it was one of the coolest things I've ever got to do. It was just so cool. Old folks I love golfing, but I would give up golf. Like, I don't need a 370 golf courses in Arizona. What the fuck? You're just a golf course. Mogren's right, and that's I wasn't a big I mean, I definitely experimented. I'm not going to say I was a perfect kid, but I wasn't the kid going to school stoned out of my mind or like drinking every day before school or doing anything like that. I identified with those kids because they had troubled homes and like they're not walking the streets in their baggy clothes at 2 a.m. for funsies. They're doing that because they have nowhere else to go. It's the saddest fucking thing to say out loud ever. But when I think back on it, I remember it like Nebo. Thank you for the biddies, lover. Yeah, like if your parents are at home cooking meth or having a giant party or fucking in your bedroom or beating each other, you have nowhere to go at 2 a.m. But I remember seeing like movies and shit like that where people be like, watch out for those kids. Those are the troublemaker kids because they're walking around at 2 a.m. And it's like nothing good happens at 2 a.m. You're right, but like where the fuck are we supposed to go? They literally children with just nowhere to go, and people would give them like cops would stop and quiz us about shit, and we just like we're just walking around the same block 3 times. Like, can you just get a life? I love bonfires. I never got in trouble for anything, not because I wasn't a little shit, too clever to get caught. Not a flex, not sure it's a good thing, honestly. No, you're just too clever to get caught. I never even considered being caught. I never even considered it. Like, that's the way my brain works, David. I remember doing these things, and, like, getting away with it wasn't a factor for me. It was just, is this gonna be fun? Which is terrible, but that's, I guess, childhood, right? Is this gonna be fun? Which is bad. But I remember that. A cab. Oh, yes. Weed and s'mores with weed chocolate. Oh my God. I made s'mores on my fire pit the other night. It was amazing. So if you need to illustrate how bad climate change is, Seattle needs more rain. Isn't that disgusting? You guys have been dry for a couple years now, haven't you? That's what my mom said. Her lawn, like they don't water or anything, but her lawn hasn't been looking hot. And they live 20 minutes north of Seattle. All cats are beautiful. I'm the youngest of 5 kids in a Mormon family. All my rebellious streaks are swiftly eviscerated by how my parents treated my older siblings. Really? Only in the summer. That's not bad. But yeah, my mom has said the same thing. Like, she's like, it's kind of gotten to the point where she thinks about watering her garden, and she's never, ever had to water before in Seattle. Because, you get a week of dry, but then usually you'll get poured on. Whereas, no shit, in Colorado, we haven't gone a week without rain this year. Without, like, a dump of rain. Like, so hard it wakes me up in the middle of the night sometimes. This is the wettest summer I've ever experienced in my life. I actually think Kel said this is the wettest year he's ever experienced in 20 years of living in Colorado. It's crazy. It feels like the East Coast. That kind of, like, piss on you rain that just comes out of nowhere. The coolest thing I ever did when I was 17 or so was sneaking a jet ski lesson. I mean, I wouldn't say being expelled was the coolest thing I ever did. It was probably like quite a life-altering moment for me of being in trouble, having a cop read me my rights because I was considered a vessel of drugs on the campus of the school, therefore I could go to jail. But I was 14, like, that was fun side story though. The cop who arrested me, read me my rights and shit when I was expelled, he actually ended up getting fired a couple years after I graduated high school because he was molesting girls. He was like stopping and accosting those groups of young kids walking the town in the middle of the night who had nowhere to go. And he'd say they were in trouble, bring them back to the station, and then be like, if you suck my dick, you can go home. And it turns out the chief of police was fucking covering up for it. What? I know, right? Color me shocked. But my mom brought this up. She's like, you could have been one of those kids, which is terrifying. Thankfully, I've always been kind of a bitch. So whenever he stopped to like accost me and my girlfriends walking around in the middle of the night because we had nowhere to go, we'd say, fuck off, Fisher, because his name was Fisher. Fuck off, Fisher. We weren't scared of him because he was a douchebag. And my family kind of had a personal relationship with him because I think he'd arrested at least a couple of my brothers a few times and had to bring them home. So he knew my family by name and he could not fuck with me. But like, fuck that guy in not the cool way. I think he had a family and stuff. Like, can you even imagine finding out your partner was like raping underage girls in the police station? I'm just stretching my shoulder. I can't even fathom. It's very much a destructive culture, David. That's exactly what it is. I've watched interviews and listened to podcasts of interviews by cops that like decent cops who quit essentially because they're like the system is so intrinsically corrupt. It doesn't matter how many good cops you have. You can't beat them, so you join them. That's like the mentality of the corruptness. So he just like quit. He's like, I'll go work at Walmart as a greeter. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to do that. But it's very sad. They usually do have families. Fucking disgusting. And they're usually real stand-up nice people. I don't know if he was stand-up nice. He was our only cop. Because again, super small town. We had like, we must have had two because he didn't work 24/7. But that was the only cop I ever saw. And then a chief of police or whatever. And then after that, we got a really, really nice lesbian cop, and she was fucking awesome. I became besties with her. She was really cool. Police unions have been the best thing that has ever happened for the Nazis since Hitler. I mean, it's part of the systemic racism of America, right? The fuck is wrong with peeps? I can't pay the $100 for the SSD. Can you order it and I'll pay you after I pick up the PC? No, what? In many states, it takes longer to train to cut people's hair than it does to become a police officer. 100%. I think that's all over. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, cosmetologists in chat, if you've gone through beauty school, I think beauty school takes years. A friend of mine went to Gene Juarez in Seattle. I think every like cosmetology school is different in the terms of the certification program. I have no idea, but I know he went to school for 2 years, and I know that the police to become a police officer in Washington State, it's only a 6-week course. The guy that killed his 3 kids and wife in Utah was touted as a family-loving, church-going guy, the family annihilator. You know, Tare, I listen to probably an unhealthy amount of true crime, if there is such a thing, but I listen to podcasts of true crime literally almost 24/7 while I'm not streaming. It's crazy. And even the podcast hosts bring this up. This isn't just my personal, like, biased view on it. The vast majority of prolific serial killers hide behind religion. And they're usually very upstanding members in the church, if not leaders. Like, for instance, BTK was a leader in his church and a leader of a Boy Scout group. Like, he would literally put his Boy Scouts to bed, go murder someone, and come back. They hide behind, like, this golden persona of good person. It's super gross. That's why it's one bad apple spoils the bunch, not a few bad apples isn't a big deal. Just put a few good apples in there and it'll be fine. The good apples spread. It's true. You're right, though. No, it's true. It's very sad, though, because it's like, where's the hope? And then mobility in the police force is easy. My brother-in-law started as a state trooper, became a detective, and is now a K-9 unit cop, all within a few years. Wow. Dude, Jessica, no shit. I have a lot of friends in the cosmetology like circle because I love makeup and hair and I love that kind of stuff. That's what I wanted to do, but my parents were like, you have to get a real degree. So I did chemistry instead. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. My friend AJ, he was my best friend in high school, and he's the one that went to Gene Juarez. He actually has his own. He owns 2 salons under his name in Seattle now. He's very successful, but he told me no good cosmetology school won't teach you black hair. Won't teach you black hair. Is that how you? Did I say that backwards? You know what I'm saying. He said if a school literally does not teach you how to cut black hair or any other hair but straight Caucasian hair, walk the fuck away. Like, that's not a certification. That's what they've all told me almost universally. They're like, that's not a certification. That's fucked up. Hair textures, I mean, I don't need to tell y'all. They're across the fucking board, for fuck's sake. Like, I feel like that's to a detriment of a cosmetologist. Because God forbid that cosmetologist, like, what if they go to school in a place that's super white and then they move to somewhere like Baltimore and a bunch of girls coming in wanting weaves and shit, and they're like, I'm sorry. I went to beauty school and they didn't teach me your hair.
Racist! What the fuck?
I don't even know what to do with that one. I don't even know what to do with that one. I'm gonna smoke pot about it. I had relaxer questions on my test. I have a Florida cosmetology license. In Washington, at least at Gene Juarez, I don't know about other cosmetology schools, but they had to learn how to do weaves. They had to learn how to cut like afro style of hair. They had to learn relaxers, safe relaxer application. Like they had to learn how to. The only reason I know this is when my friend AJ was going to school. If you went to Mikey, you know. But at least this is the way it was at Gene Res. I don't know if this is all beauty schools, but you have to bring a model for all your tests. You have to bring a human being. So you kind of have to have a circle of people who are willing to let you fuck their hair up potentially. And no shit, I saw people standing in the street begging strangers, like, can I cut your hair for free? Can I cut your hair for free? I have a test today. It was wild. But I had hair to my hips, long. My hair is thick as balls and super coarse to my hips. And so AJ, I was his model all through school. My hair just got shorter and shorter and shorter as he went. So I got to learn about this stuff because his teacher comes over and tests him while I'm sitting there. And they learn how to tell if your hair's been chemically treated before by like plucking a strand out, and then they like get it wet and they stretch it and everything. It's wild the amount of science that goes into that shit. But to leave out an entire, I mean, you're just fucking yourself in terms of like having clients to straight up say like, I can't cut your curly hair. What the fuck? But that's got to happen. I know I've read and seen horror stories of little black girls being like, and their mothers, their mom takes them to get a haircut, and everyone in the salon is like, oh my God, we don't know. And they kind of put their hands up like the little girl's poison or something. And you're just like, you're a disgusting excuse. What the fuck? Like, how dare you? Like, the least you could do is make this little girl feel comfortable. My God. They're not in a disgusting excuse for not knowing how to cut hair. Like, that's not their fault. That's on the school. I'm saying they're a disgusting excuse for not treating this little girl like she's the most precious being on earth. Like, Jesus. Can you imagine? You give that little girl a hug and you tell her she's fucking beautiful and that you're going to find someone who can make her feel even as pretty as she wants to be. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, learn as much as you can, put it in the filing cabinet. It's so important. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Dude, Jessica, amen. Dude, Dapper and I have known each other for, I mean, you probably know that. If you know Dapper, Dapper and I are both from the beginning of the creative and the end of the creative category. We've been friends for a while. I went to school to learn hair, but not yours.
Oh, fucking ouch.
That, ugh. Yeah. I have very baby fine silky hair, and it often does what it wants. The amount of haircuts I've had that made it do good things is very far and few between. Hardcore, I kind of feel the same. I use model for students too. It was great while I was studying. I never looked smarter and more varied. Hard same. Hard same. Yeah, my hair looked awesome. Like I got that like French twist in the back and shit like that. He did all these hairstyles that I will never get in my life because when the fuck am I gonna need a French twist? But it looks really cool for the time. If a stranger asked me if they can cut my hair for free, my answer is promptly no. I might consider it if they were literally outside of a beauty school and needed me for a test. Maybe. Because the teachers are there. The teachers fix like the teachers don't let them fuck you up hard. You know what I'm saying? Like the instructors, they literally will come by and grab their hands if they think they're gonna like make you fucking hideous or something like that. They're pretty decent, but I only know that because I've done it before, so I get it. I get how that could seem really sketchy. I've got that crazy finish fine hair. She does as she pleases. I just live here, man. What's that? I have no idea. Like, what's it feel like to not feel like you have weight on your head? I honestly, my hair is pounds of just coarse sick. I cannot, like, the grass is always greener, right? Like, if you have thin hair, you want thick hair. If you have thick hair, you want thin hair. If your hair is curly, you want it straight. And if it's straight, you want it curly. Like, we all understand that. But I can just doing this, it feels like someone's pulling my face like this. And it's every time I move my head, I'm like a little bit more conscious of how heavy my hair is. And it's just wild. Like, I can't imagine my hair not being a factor. And I'm just a little jealous. Just a little bit. But again, grass is always greener, right? That's just the way it is. Can I cut your hair for free? Okay, but you can't keep it like a weirdo. It feels nice. I can imagine. Every time I think about growing my hair out long again, I swear to God, little Sia shows up out of nowhere and be like, Katie, remember the migraines? And I'm like, okay, you're right. I'll cut it. I'll get it cut. I mean, it's a privilege either way, though, right? Like, I feel like when you have, this is just what I've learned from y'all. When you have finer hair, like, you can put it down, you can wear it however you want. And Lilith, this is a PG-13 stream. But like, my hair never gets greasy, and I never have to wash it. Like, I really almost never have to wash my hair. And I hear y'all with thinner hair, like, basically have to wash your hair every fucking day of your life. Otherwise, it looks like greasy fried chicken nonsense on your face. So I guess I got that going for me, but my hair definitely does not lay the... I mean, even pulling it into the tightest ponytail ever, it's got curl and, like, weird wave and shit to it. It's coolest. He is. They're both... Actually, what's weird, she's softer. I remember when we got them, I looked up... Because they're, like, papered and shit, because we got them from breeders. I don't even think we submitted the paperwork, because we don't give a shit, but... I was looking up on the AKC website, like, what their color is called for their paperwork. And she's called a Phantasma Cafe au lait or something, some shit like that. But the interesting part was the AKC site said the paler the hair color on a poodle, the finer the hair is, and the softer it is, but the more likely it is to mat. The darker the poodle, the more coarse the hair is, and it's totally true. Like, Trick's hair is coarse as fuck, but it never mats up. Like, it never gets tangled. Her hair feels downy, almost like puppy fur, but it gets matted really fast. I have to brush behind her ears constantly. Ghost Coffee Dog, she is. I don't see how she bats with these feet. This is how I get hit in the face. It's this, like, your mic's in the way. It's this, like, weird coloration, I guess, I don't know what the fuck. She's a poodle. She's a lover. That's it. We love each other, huh? Yeah. She wants to hug, but it's like, she has, these things are like sentient, so she's like, right in my eye every time. Are you guys gonna fight now? This is the... He's just biting your ass. She is an MMA fighter. She really is. She's such a little tit. I like you just grabbed her head and shook her. Oh, you know what, Tara? I learned lessons from Millie, the most perfect baby in the world. Like, I'm not talking trash. Millie was perfection. But when Millie was a puppy, I'd always grown up with, like, farm dogs and shit. So I didn't realize that you have to play with their feet and kind of fuck with a puppy so that later in life, when they have problems, you can easily examine their face or their feet and fix it. So when I got these guys, I almost did too much of it. Like, I was like, every single night, I would sit there and play with their face, play with their feet. They are being such doofuses over here right now. I would play with their feet and shit. And so now they'll let me do anything to them. So I sit there. Lilith has a slightly longer muzzle than Trick, but it's like the gummy cartilage is what's longer. So I grab her face and do this to it all the time because you can make her whole nose like wonk wonk. And now I just do it without even thinking. She's my rat killer. Did I tell you guys she got another one? 4 in 2 weeks now. 4. The thumping. I'm trying to make this shit tilt. There. She does this, like, paw slam on the ground. She's such a dork. Now that I move the camera, you guys move the couch. Okay, I see how it is, motherfuckers. Assholes. Do we need to take a break? Is that what's up? Dogs are the best. I love them. They're so goofy. They're literally just attacking. They're running back and forth from the couch and playing tag. Goobers. Goobers. My sister has a poodle mutt that constantly needs to have a paw use, so that's Lilith. Lilith's very much like that. She has to like put her ass against me. That's what it is. So if I'm standing outside in the yard, she sits against my leg or she'll sit on my foot. If I'm laying in bed, she like slams her ass on me and then curls up in a little ball. She has to have her butt on me. Normally she's literally sleeping under my desk with her ass against my foot or on my foot all day. It's like she has to know where I'm gonna go. Like, am I gonna leave her? Oh, my insurance won't pay for it. My parents are gonna come get me and drive me back to my hometown so I can get help. Oh, honey. Thank fuck for your parents. Will you give them a hug from me? I'm glad you have some form of help, but insurance, dude, what a fuck. It's kind of a protective behavior. I believe that because she'll do it on the bed, and if Trick wakes up and spooks her, she growls at him. She'll like at him real quick before she realizes it's him. I don't know if you can see, the camera is shaking. She is slamming the ground. Yep, 24/7. That's Lil. She can't be without one of us. She is addicted, hard, same. And it's like, I don't blame her. We got them right at the beginning of COVID, and they have not lived a second without either of us here. So I kind of get it. Like, I did it. 15 monies on the brown one, dude. I'm almost with you on this one because the black one, he's acting a little overtly aggressive. The void, I feel like she's holding back because she's got a lot of energy. She's gonna get him, get him. If you notice, this is one of the interesting differences. They're twins, same litter, same parents. Lilith snarls, Trick never does. She doesn't like make a sound, but every time she goes in, she goes. It is fucking hilarious. If you watch her, she goes every time. And to the couch they go. Oh no, couch battle now. It's adorable. Happy Halloween! By touching, you mean they can't try to sneak away. By touching, you mean they can't sneak away, mother. That's what Lilith thinks. Dude, I love Halloween so much. Thank you so much for resetting the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving a fucking ain't its wings. Wait, here's for my annual praise. I don't have a lot of free time for watching, but damn do I enjoy every minute of your streams. You're fucking kind. Thank you for the entertainment, the insights, the knowledge. I learned a ton from you and your viewers. Bless you. And especially your kindness. You and Zeke are the only streamers I support and will continue to do so as long as I can. Someday I'll get to go to TwitchCon and say hi. If you ever get to TwitchCon, I better get a hug as well. Thank you for all those kind words. Thank you. They are goofballs, and I'm so grateful, David, that they do love each other. They do have a blast. They love each other. Thank you, Poop Deck. You fucking sap.
I gave it a wash, turned it on, and slipped it in.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Those are beautiful words. You know, on the topic of kindness, I saw an interesting meme recently. We're calling them memes now. And it said... That is not what it said. The timing is great, though. Meebo, cheers, love. Thank you for those biddies, you kind fuck. Alk, my love, good morning.
Did you take your joy today? Never forget to take your joy, and I guarantee your day will go as smooth as velvet.
I'm never sleeping again. I got a loaded bowl. Thank you. I'm not scared, you are. The mem. What did the mem say? Oh, I can't remember word for word, but it said like, fuck nice. Nice is just, it's like nice is just a mask for fake something, try kind. I don't know. It was like kind versus nice. And people who were like, I'm a nice person, like it's just a cover up kind of thing, but kind is different. I don't know. Now I can't remember because the child giggling, but it was really good. Sleep? What is the silly thing? In this economy, Donna? Classy emphysema. Dude, that's the last time I had that bad of a cold. That was so bad. That was so bad. Classy emphysema, the sound was me. No matter how kind you are, German children are always kinder. Good job. God damn it. I was so sick. That was disgusting. I think I was still in Baltimore, actually. that was when my lungs, like, almost died. I almost died. Not really, but I felt like it. Cheers. Sorry, I had to find my shit. Yeah, it was, right? Dude, that's so long ago. That's weird. But, I mean, I survived. I don't know why, but I remember doing that sound on stream, and I don't know why, but I remember Magnissimo having a really hard time with it. Like when I did the thing into the mic. It's like that Into the Woods quote. You're so nice. You're not good. You're not bad. You're just nice. Yes. Yep. Happy hippie time zone. Dude. I honestly, 9 times out of 10, roll with the typo. Because I assume the person I'm speaking with is intelligent enough to figure it out. None of us are here to write a thesis. Magnissimo. He was around here the other day, actually. He comes by, honestly, almost once a day and chills and says, hoorah, and we laugh at something ridiculous. All right, I need to take a break and take my dogs out. They are in the danger zone of energy now. Let's take our first break of the day. Every couple of hours, we take a break. We stretch our dicks, our clits, our 9-binary bits. We get some water. We pack a bowl. Get a snack, whatever. When we return, we shall be continuing Amanda's adventure? Adventure is a really strong word for that. What is her nightmare? It's a good game. It's like a if you didn't get to see the first day, it's basically a what's the word? Escape room. Oh my god, the dogs, they're about to unplug. Get you fucking psychopaths. Amanda's adventure, not adventure, Katie. Amanda the adventure, excuse me. It's like an escape room, but terrifying. I don't understand it. It's terrifying. But the last time we were playing, I have a ton of notes from it. I have all my notes from it. And which is necessary. I'm not just an anal retentive person. Like I had to write down so many numbers and codes and shit. But Glut gave me a piece of advice. He said, watch the first video that we find intensely closely, I guess. So I'm gonna watch that fucking how to... My dudes! They just ripped my controller off its cord, so now I have to go murder them.
I didn't kill them. They may or may not have literally tore a USB port out of the front of my PC just now. The controller seems fine. I promise I won't kill them. Hail Satan.
Everything's cute until it's not, right? Everything's cute until it's not. Dogs are cute all the time, but God, do they fuck my life up a lot. I was just telling Zach about that, the weird emergency thing that's gonna go off. I was like, have your phone on you, because if you leave it in the bedroom, it's going to go off, and I'm gonna have to deal with it, and I'm not gonna deal with it in a kind way.
Satan.
Sir, whose tail is you digging in with that? Show of hands, which piece of tail cousin off of my comment section gonna sit up there and let him dig in your butt with that? Not me, because you're not fixing to line up my chakras with that.
I miss that lady. All right. I get pre-anxious. It's so weird. Horror games get me pre-anxious. I don't know why, but I'm already like, my brain immediately goes into like, could I make an excuse to not do this? But I want to play the game. It's a really good game. And it's not really that scary. I don't know. It's one of those games that's really good at the, what's the word for it? Like the atmospheric tension, one might say. Also, just, I like it. The Amelia Tyler. Yes. Yes. Millie. All right. Is she streaming on her channel? Yeah, there she is. All right. My girl Amelia Tyler, one of my dearest friends in the whole world, is actually playing Baldur's Gate right now. And if you didn't know, she actually narrated a huge chunk of it. Like, the whole thing. Which is fucking cool. I know, Miss fucking narrator. So let's raid her, shall we? Yeah, no shit. No shit. She narrated the whole thing. She has an extensive, prolific, beautiful voice acting career. And just a side note, she's actually voicing Hecate or Hecate or however the fuck you want to say it in the new Hades game coming out. So like triple. I'm just so excited for her. She seriously deserves everything coming to her. She works so goddamn hard. So that's who we're gonna raid. You treat her right. She's a wonderful human being. She's literally playing Baldur's Gate, which is incredible. This game music. We're gonna continue this tomorrow. We're getting better endings. I'm committed. I'm gonna get us better endings because those were just like not the best. Cheers, homies. Be good. Drink water, and I'll see you motherfuckers tomorrow.